Hello everybody, welcome to your Good Vibrations reading for this full moon, which is on July 9th. So here's our Sabian symbol for the peak of this full moon. And remember, full moon is about the part of the moon cycle that is the culmination. We set an intention at the new moon, and then going through the phases, then we come to the full moon, which is everything is out in the open at that point. You're kind of digging up a treasure at the time of the new moon, and then it's fully revealed. It fully comes forward at the full moon. So everything is out there to be seen with this full moon. And here is our Sabian symbol. It's at Capricorn 18. The Union Jack flies from a British warship. And this is a very special symbol for me because it's at the very base of my chart. It's where what's known as the IC point is in my astrological chart. And Capricorn energy, remember, is about achievement. It's about kind of that driving force to always, be better, get more, keep going, pushing through. So I really get the sense with this full moon and this symbol that it is about, a sense of protection with that warship image. But it's also kind of really putting out there who we really are for everybody to see. That's the flag part of it. And the emphasis in the symbol is on the flag. The Union Jack flies from a British warship. And it tells me that we're in a place where we're more solid on who we are, us as the warship. And now are ready, the culmination point is us being ready to then really express, to push forward. Remember, we're talking about Capricorn energy, to push forward who we really are and to not make any, apologies for it. We're simply stepping into who we are, and the flag signifies a very visual sense of showing who you are and not being afraid to. So this is a really potent one for me, and depending on where you have Capricorn in your chart, that tells you kind of the area of life where this is really hitting for you. So for me, it's the IC is all about kind of the very roots of who you are as a person. It's everything to do with your family, your home, and really I think of it as kind of the dark part of the soul. It's like the deepest part of the ocean, and it's very much foundational to who you are. So, and I'm experiencing that in my life for sure right now, so it resonates for me. So let's get on with our reading. First up, this is the Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn. If you chose this card, you have delight. So what I get with these cards, what I get a sense of is that the emphasis being on the flag. How do you best? What is the graphic, if you will, that's on your flag? In the symbol, it talks about a Union Jack. We all know what that looks like. Many lines converging together. There's a convergence here, okay? And so your flag image is this very peaceful kind of an image. If you were putting the flag up the flagpole to say, this is who I am. And remember, we're talking good vibrations here. This is what is in your best interest to, put this type of a flag up if you chose this card. Delight, it reads, I delight in everything in my world, and divine joy fills me. So, but what I get a sense of with the image is peace, with these two doves. And it's peace between you and another. because the warship image from the Sabian symbol speaks to that you're always on the defensive. And that is a part of the message this week, is noticing areas or tendencies from your past to always be on the defensive and feeling like you maybe need to put walls up or even cover yourself in steel so that you don't get hurt. And I'm here to say you're more sturdy than that. You're more capable than that. You don't need to constantly surround yourself with steel. You're fully capable, and these things are transpiring and allowing you to expand further. You're emitting an energy signal. There's feedback coming to you based on that, and therefore it's showing you either you're loving it and you're flowing along beautifully, or you're feeling some dissonance. And that's how you know that you're ready to expand to another level. It's where dissonance or things we don't like in our life can end up being really important moments for us, because it's showing you, okay, this doesn't feel right, so what does feel right? Okay, so I get the sense that your flag is about you coming to a place of just simply choosing peace, particularly in regards to another that you may have felt defensive around. So it gets a little specific for you. That peace is the choice that will delight you, and think about the word delight, light. It is about illuminating. It's about raising your vibration. That's what my messages are always about. So choosing peace rather than trying to be right or trying to win out. This is a redefinition of the Capricorn energy, which often likes to be on top. It likes to be top dog. And this is kind of a redefinition of that energy for everybody this week, I think. So for you, really think about that idea of peace, that idea that there comes a certain harmony that happens if you choose the way of the dove versus, trying to peck away at somebody. And you know that eventually, if they're not already, they're going to peck back. And then you'll be in this constant tug of war. So sometimes it's worth it to extend the olive branch and to choose a harmonic kind of a relationship versus trying to be one over the other. Okay? And that, it speaks to that idea of defensiveness, which ties into the warship. That really, we're coming to a place, people who listen to my readings, you wouldn't be listening to this if you're not ready to go there. And life gets, believe me, life gets more beautiful and more rewarding the more that you pay attention to taking care of the energy vibration signal that you are putting out. It is a real thing. People who know me know that I am a very grounded person. I do this intuitive work on the side, and I have a corporate job that is very much about achieving and checking off the boxes and getting things done and being organized. So I'm not 100% airy-fairy all the time. I'm a very grounded, practical person. So the reason I'm saying that is that I just want to offer you this idea of the vibration. Like, I have found this in my very practical life to be true. That this signal that you're putting out is indeed bringing things back to you. And I've seen it work in both directions for me. And it becomes really potent when you're facing in the direction of what you're wanting and what feels good to you. Okay? And that's what your card's about. Choosing peace. Because you just never know. Situations, it's kind of like not engaging with the bully on the playground. It's that same sort of idea. And when you drop that, your end of the energy tug, there's nothing for them to play with. So the situation just kind of goes away. It just stops. And then things have a chance to settle and heal, much like a festering wound. If you keep poking at it, it's not going to get better that quickly, and it may never get better. So really think about if it's really worth it to keep pushing, and whether it's worth it to be right about a situation, or should you just choose the idea of peace? Because then those situations just dissipate on their own, and you're left with a more harmonious kind of energy. Okay, which then that raises your energy vibration, and then you're in the flow, and then everything starts to get easier and more to your liking. Okay, you get less contrast moments and more moments of this clarity and ease that you've been wanting all along. All right. The second card we have is from the Flower Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue, and we have the Begonia, Patience. And this says, your prayers have been heard and they are being answered. So you've been putting a lot out there. You've been wanting things to get, let's go, let's get this cleaned up, let's get this taken care of, give me an answer. If only I knew, like, come on, come on. And that's Capricorn, pushing, pushing, pushing. Come on, let's go, mountain goat. Just keep going, and if I work harder, then maybe things will turn out better. But your flag that you're putting up is covered in these begonias, which has this white and pink energy. That's the heart chakra. So it's about focusing in. The flag you're raising is about focusing in again on, instead of whatever you've been pushing on and that you feel you might not have had patience around recently, focus in on what your intention was. What are you focused on? What are you wanting out of that situation or whatever it is that you're out of patience on? I get the sense that you're pushing really hard to make something happen, and the way the energies are changing on this planet, we do better when we get in a flow. And to get in the flow, you stay focused on eye on the prize. And you wait and you receive inspirations and inspired actions that come through to you. And then those are what you take action on. And it just feels natural. But you keep your eye on the prize. And you listen and you stay aware. So whatever you're maybe lacking patience in, whatever situation or person, relationship, what have you, there may have been many, many signals and signs that have come across your path, and you simply haven't taken notice because you're thinking that it needs to look like this. Very specifically, I want it like this. But the thing is the universe doesn't work like that. So you emit the signal of what you're wanting, and it's immediately put in this sort of escrow account for you right away. And then it's just a matter of you lining your energy up with it. That's why I'm all about this good vibrations. It's trying to get us to a place where we're not in the sludgy kind of swirling energy that doesn't serve us and certainly doesn't get us to what we're looking for. So I'm reminded of this story, and I can't remember the exact words of how it goes, but that somebody was on the roof of their house, and there had been a flood, and they were asking God for help. And a boat went by and they're like, oh yeah, that's going to save somebody else. A plane flew overhead and they're like, yeah, that's not for me. Somebody came along with a life vest and they're like, oh no, there's a different way that's coming that's going to save me. But it's just that any of those methods that were offered were not of that person's, they didn't fit the exact parameters that were in that person's head, but they were all ways that that person could have been saved, that their request, their wish could be fulfilled. So I really get the sense that, you know, your flag that you're putting up on your British warship, as the symbol described for this week, you know, is about you bringing your attention again, get focused on your ultimate goal in whatever area that you don't have patience around right now, and stay aware and awake. It's like being super caffeinated. You're just aware of everything that is transpiring in your day. And be aware if there, you know, if you see an animal, certain animal gets your attention, Google online what the spirit totem of that animal is, for instance, because there's a message there. And that message could help lead you into either a state of vibration through your thoughts and feelings, or it could inspire an idea within you that leads you ultimately to your goal. Okay, so you just never know where these things are going to pop up. And so it's hard for me to guide you on this, but the key is being aware and awake and alert, okay? And dropping the lack of patience, and knowing that what you're asking for, the essence of what you're asking for, is always coming to you. It just might not be in the same form that you're thinking it might be in. It might look a little differently. But the key when you're in the flow is you're going to get away from the pushing that I talked about, that I got a sense of right away when I turned this card over. I get a sense you're pushing on to make something happen. And there's a lot of momentum and energy expenditure in pushing that is not particularly efficient, and it is certainly not in the flow. And that's where we're redefining Capricorn energy with this full moon. Something has come up from within us that is helping us to shine a new light full on at redefining what it means for us to have protection, i.e. the warship, for us to put the flag up and say, this is who I am. So you have every right to want what you want, whatever that is that you may have no patience about right now. Kind of like me with these mosquitoes. But know that you have an opportunity here to refine and redefine that, and to let go of feelings of impatience, and instead embrace this idea of focusing on eye on the prize, and noticing inspired action ideas when they come to you, signs along your path. Seriously, I get some of my best signs from license plates. I really do. Sometimes stickers on cars. It just seems to happen in my car most of the time, or a song that comes on the radio or that plays from my phone. You just never know. But it will hit you. It will be like, oh, wow. It will grab your attention. And then it's up to you to follow that a little bit and be curious in your mind about, okay, well, how does that relate to this situation? And could that be helping me along my path? Because your team, your inner being, is always directing you along your path, is always there to help you, right beside you. And whatever you've asked for has already been given. It's already sitting there, waiting for you. But it's about you getting in a vibrational distance that is, well, there's no distance at all between you and it. It is a perfect resonance that you have with it. And that certainly the resonance does not happen if you have impatient thoughts and impatient feelings at play. Okay, so eye on the prize. Eye on the prize. And stay alert and aware. All right, our final card is from the messages from your animal spirit guides. And this is Zebra. Boy, we've had this card in some of the daily readings too, I think, recently. It reads, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. So this speaks to this idea of protection that I got from the warship Sabian symbol for this full moon. It's the same type of thing. Fear, fear, fear. And needing to put up steel blockades in order to protect yourself. And I'm here to be a little bit in your face and say, give yourself more credit than that. You are worthy. You are capable. And you can totally rock this, whatever it is that's got you feeling a sense of fear or that you do need to protect yourself. There's benefit, of course, to being awake and alert about your environment, about things around you, but you don't have to get intertwined in those things. You don't, like world politics. You don't have to be one with those, because honestly, when you become one with those, even if you're in a mode of speaking out against it, the point is, where is your attention facing? Your attention is on the issue. And what that does is it adds more energy, more momentum, more juju to the issue. So I feel a little bit like the last card we had, eyes on the prize. It's kind of like your flag that you're putting up on your warship. Remember, the Union Jack flies from a British warship. That's our symbol. So your flag is about a horse of a different color. I often say that with this card. It's about flying your stripes. It's about everybody else is flying circles up on their flag, and you're like, yep, here I am with my stripes. Yep, I'm doing it different. Yep, I'm being contrary to everybody else because I don't want to add more circles. There's already too many circles. And you are unique. That's also a part of your message, is you have a unique viewpoint to bring to this. So how can anything that you are in fear about or that you feel a need to protect yourself around, what is your viewpoint around that? What is your high-end viewpoint? What is the top of the flagpole viewpoint, not down on the ground where the worms are? We don't fly our flag down in the mud at the base of the flagpole. We raise it up. So what is that view? Because that's way up, like, who knows, let's say 25 feet in the air, okay? What's the view up there that you are giving off by raising your flag? What's the viewpoint? What is the zebra viewpoint? The different view, unique, really unique, that you have to bring to whatever it is that you have fear around, or that you feel you need to protect yourself. Because that is a trigger for you right there. It is your indicator of, I have a certain viewpoint here that is ready to come out, because the full moon always digs up this stuff. The full moon shines on that which has been hidden, that which has been germinating since the time of the last new moon. And now it has popped through the soil, and the full moon light is shining on it. And yes, it's baby, it's small, it's just barely coming out of the soil. It's been in the dark for a long time, germinating, and then it pops up. So yes, it's vulnerable. Yes, it's a little scary. Yes, it definitely, I think, It's definitely a contrary view, whatever this is for you. But don't shy away from it. It's giving you a kick in the pants to actually run that thing up the flagpole. This is the time. This is redefinition of everything that is Capricorn. So it's not about, pushing and protecting and, feeling like you need to be gilded in steel. Because that gets hot after a while, and then you rust from the inside out. So you're just shedding all of that steel skin. And instead, you're running the zebra flag up the flagpole and saying, no more. This is my viewpoint on this. I'm not going to sit here and stew in my own fear and need to constantly put a bubble of protection around myself, It's really hard to sustain that. And you're more capable than that. Give yourself more credit. You are strong. You are full out. It's like we have a British warship. You are the captain of the warship. You've got the stripes, you've got the medallions and the medals and the everything. You are the captain. You get to call those shots. Okay? So really think about putting that contrary view. It may even be your own towards yourself. It might be your own feelings, your own thoughts around a situation or towards yourself or in a relationship. Sometimes these can be inwardly directing, that we are totally shifting gears here. And it will feel very contrary, but it is so your time. Okay? And the world really needs more of those viewpoints, because we're really getting slim on options these days. And having a fresh viewpoint, new options, new ideas for people to try on and try out. We have forgotten that is an ability that we all have. And you, my friend, are a leader in that. By offering your viewpoint, you serve as an example for others, and you inspire others to consider different ways of being. Okay? There we go, everybody. Let us surge ahead and redefine the old Capricorn energy into this new place, running our flags up the flagpole and being proud to be unique in our viewpoints. Have a good week, and I wish you good vibrations.